So then, as I say that, well, this place is the oldest village among all the villages around here, and this place is called Motopi. So the indigenous people, well, they decided to call this place Motopi because of this tree that you see at the back. So then normally the indigenous people were using this tree for coffee making. When the first settlers came over, they found the Bahuruti around here, making coffee out of this tree. That is why now the name Coffee Kraal comes from. The place was named Coffee Kraal, named after this tree that you see behind me. We hope that, well, this indigenous knowledge, I think it is going to help us a lot, more so when we are engaging in tourism. So because now you can see the students here, so then we are willing to come up with a tourism company where then we can protect all the indigenous trees that will attract tourists from all over the world to come down here.
Okay, our idea is to start a community-based tourism project in this area that flows from the camp process and workshops which were conducted earlier this year in August here, and tourism was identified as one of the options that the people would like to get involved with. So one can't just jump into the story in the deep end, so we decided we have to have a follow-up workshop, and that is what we now conducted. And then next year we'll come back to have training, but then it's focused on exactly what the people want. So let's get back to the follow-up workshop which we now conducted. The idea is to create awareness among the people about really what is tourism and what is the difference between tourism and community-based tourism and other types of tourism. They're not really, we thought they might not perhaps exactly realize what the differences are, to create this awareness and also to take note of their expectations. We've got certain expectations and we don't want to force our ideas on them. So the idea of this follow-up workshop was really to determine from them what they want, how they see it, and if we can get some synergy between what they sort of expect and what we think should be done. So we started off, we conducted a sort of a day and a half planning workshop now. We started by trying to tell them stories, success stories of community-based tourism, and that they then can learn and get ideas from that, not really to copy, but they can get some good ideas from that, what might work and what might not work and what worked for other people. So we took two stories. The one is Carter Village, the Carter Village story. It's a place in the Eastern Cape province. That's also a village. It's a village story about village tourism. And the other one we took is a route, the Shlanangani route. That's west of the Kruger Park. That's closer to where they are. So we shared these two stories and we presented it by means of a PowerPoint to them. And then after sharing the story, we unpacked the story with them to get from them what was of interest in the story, what could they relate to their own circumstances. If we compare what do the people there have, what do they have, what would they still need, and what would the challenges be, and things like that. Well, that took about a whole morning to do that. Then in the afternoon we came back and then we really wanted from them what do they expect from tourism, how do they see it in this village, what's the challenges, what do they think is very interesting here to see, and so on. That identified two things actually that we didn't know of before and that some of them were even not aware of before. It was a coffee tree, the one that the name Coffee Kraal was actually related to. And the one lady identified a very nice place that she sort of dreamed about and that she would like to take tourists to. So that brought us to the second day then. And then it's not really how we planned it, but we changed our plan. Then we decided let's bring some practical into this thing. So we visited the coffee tree and we took everybody with us. And that actually worked quite well. It turned out that some of them didn't even know about it. And that turned out to be like a real tourist attraction. So although they didn't really understand everything, I think we shared with them the previous day, the moment we took them to a real tourist attraction, they started understanding the implications of taking people there, why people would be interested in, and things like that. And then we visited the river, the Mariku River that flows past the town, and we also visited the spot that one participant talked about that she actually dreamed about.
I've got a dream about this place. I like to see this place renovated, builded with small walls, seating, so that people from outside, the tourists, must come down here using maybe donkey carts just to come and chill here. Yeah, that's my dream.
So by the time we went back to the lecture room, we could recap what we did the previous day, and then we broke into groups. And each of the group had the same task, and that is to develop a plan for if tourists arrive in the morning in Koffiekraal, what would they then do for the whole day. And then we developed 2 plans. The one turned out to focus like on itinerary, and the other group sort of worked more on the needs. What would the tourists need? What would they enjoy? What would they eat? What would they like to see? So we ended up with 2 very sort of different plans, but actually quite the same as well. From that, we could then, with them, sit down, and then we could identify some needs, some important needs that that we would need to fulfill in terms of training, in terms of creating a group feeling, a common goal, creating a slogan, what types of training they would need, how would they need guides, what the challenges would be. And now we've got a better idea actually how to train our workshop for next year. The feedback at the end also indicated they were very pleased about the whole process. They found the first day quite challenging, didn't really realize what this all is about. It was perhaps an overload of information, but the second day actually then put it into focus, and they sort of ended it with a very positive feeling about the community-based tourism. And our hope is they would now go back to the rest of the community and all the forums and share this information, and actually make more people excited about this, so that when we come back next year that we will have an excited group of people that's really willing to give this a go.